Welcome to our third and final session of this track, titled Empowering Tomorrow, the Synergy of IoT and AI. We are excited to explore how collaborative partnerships across industries are fostering innovation and driving sustainable growth in the realms of IoT and AI. It is our privilege to introduce Dr. Chin Yong Tsai, Chief Director of IoT Sensing and AI Technologies at ASTRI, as the panel chair for this panel. Joining him on stage are our esteemed panelists, Dr. Chun Tat Lui, Convener, Smart Hospital Program Committee, New Territories West Cluster, Hospital Authority. Dr. Mark Mack, Chief Scientist, Robotics Research Center, China Resources Research Institute of Science and Technology. Mr. Victor Wong, CEO, Breach AI Limited. Dr. Daniel Lau, Chief Engineer and Scientist, Apex Sphere Limited. I will now pass the floor to Dr. Tsai.
Okay, thank you everyone, and thanks for speaker come from the different industry. So first of all, I would like to introduce something about actually IoT and the SAI, because everybody talk about IoT, but actually we sometimes are difficult to explain what is the coverage and the scope of the IoT, because since the means of the IoT is the Internet of Things, Internet of everything. So it seems very broad scope. So I try to make some introduction about what we are going and what we're doing now and the future, and the better understanding what we focus. Okay, sorry. So this is what we focus on. You can say we are more focused on optical sensing and acoustic sensing, and we more focused on edge AI, cloud AI, because also easy AI that's more easy to implement, and integrate IoT sensing device and the AI technology will have different applications, such as digital health and education. So you can see we development some wearable, non-contact, vital signs sensing device, and combined with the AI, so we can proceed monitor along, and then further we will hope to have some prediction and analysis function. On the other hand, we have also projecting go pursue the medical image sensing device, especially for the elderly care or home care something device. So how we go in is we go to the hospital device and the point care device, POC, and even better in the future for optical home care device. Another is the education. As you know, education is very important in the society. So what we focus on two directions. One is the special education direction, and I believe Peter will introduce more detail, and the health part later, Dr. Ray will introduce more detail. And it's the AI, more AI functions such as generative AI, deep learning, or the large language model, especially you would see the DeepSeek, such as the expert model or some professional domain knowledge function. So what we in education in the AI, we hope to can realize the so-called 孔老夫子讲因材施教. This is what we hope. Another is the AI embeddable machine vision, so we very easy implement with a small data AI, and we have automatic AI to the engineer more easy to create the AI, and we have lifelong AI, and now we are using the AI to proceed the spatial computing with the human, like the human 3D perception, and also embodied the AI. This hope the more easy computation with the robot. Maybe Mark will introduce more detail later. On the other hand, we also conduct the semiconductor inspection. This is mainly focused on so-called 国产替代, because you know, US and China trading conflicts. So we are developing some to more high precision semiconductor inspection equipment have to be localized in China and Hong Kong. On the other end, we are also developing some surviving LiDAR technology. You can see those not only in the high precision, also the 4D, including velocity detection, and also with so-called hyperspectral LiDAR or multispectral LiDAR. It can not only detect the 3D point cloud, but also detect the object at the same time. On the other end, it's also focused on some smart city related to applications such as high-speed moving sensing for transportation infrastructure, and also low-altitude sensing device that detect the UAV, something like that. Another is we so-called the spatial acoustic sensing. So we are trying to utilize the spatial sensing technology to be more and more compact in the daily life. So you can detect usually it's natural or artificial. You can classify and grading your food. So this, that the technology enter the daily life. So this is all you can coverage the digital health, smart city, intelligent manufacture, education, something like that. So all the thing is related to IoT. So today discussion very broad, very broad, and we are invited the different area expert to share his insight and the professional advice for all of us. Yeah. Okay. So the next we may invite Dr. Ray to get a brief introduction about Internet of Body and AI in hospital, transforming the patient care. Dr. Ray.
Thank you, Dr. Sai. I'm happy to share with you about on another domain of application of IoT and AI. It's on health technology. And application of AI and IoT in healthcare is quite different from other industries. So we have this term, IOB, which is specific in healthcare. If we apply IoT monitoring on patients and human bodies, we term it Internet of Bodies and IOB. And because there are tremendous data gathering through this process, so we need an AI paired with the application of IoT in helping patient observation. So patient observation and monitoring is the primary duty for ward nurses in the ward operation in hospital. And with the traditional medical equipment in ward, we cannot provide to every patient for continuous monitoring. About 1 to 2 of the patients in ward out of 10 patients will receive continuous ECG monitoring, while the other patients will receive episodic monitoring. Just imagine in ward, you may receive the monitoring of blood pressure, the measurement of blood pressure and temperature every 4 to 6 hours. Without continuous monitoring, there have been incidents of unexpected patient deterioration in ward. So this poses risk to patient and also to our healthcare system. So this foundates that the role of IOB development. So we have, before we have a project between Tin Shui Wai Hospital of Hospital Authority and ASTRI to develop an IOB system. And this IOB is an all-in-one lightweighted wearable and multiple function integrating numerous health sensors, including the heart rate and heart rhythm detection, respiratory rate, sweat status, as well as the skin temperature. And it also can sense if the patient have any fall events by the integrated motion sensor. And it can also detect the patient's location. In case that the patient walk away from ward, it will notify the ward nurse. So this based on the chip patch sending the signal through the BLE gateway installed in ward to the back-end server. And there is an AI analytic to detect any abnormal pattern in the signal, including the health status, the fall episode, as well as the location. It integrates in a closed loop manner to the frontline nurses, to the ward dashboard, as well as the mobile apps on our nurse working mobile. This ensures a safe patient observation in their journey staying in ward. So this is both beneficial and double win for both our frontline healthcare workers as well as our patients. So this setup has been piloted in 2 wards in Thiên水圍Hospital, and it has demonstrated good accuracy in this timely notification of life-threatening events, such as the patient developed cardiac arrest. So actually, this project has been scaling up with technology transfer to the ASTRI vendor and in productization process. So we wish this will benefit more patients in the future in both public and private hospitals. And there are also a lot of R&D opportunity in the future. So we have now, through the IOB application, we have a real-time continuous monitoring and data gathering from the patient's real-time health status. If we are able to integrate with the electronic medical record in the hospital information system, we will be able to establish the infrastructure, the data infrastructure of a medical digital twin of individual patients. So leveraging on this setup, we can develop multimodal AI to predict any adverse outcome event of patients. For example, the clinical deterioration, sepsis, or heart attacks. With integration of 5G technologies, it can also enable remote monitoring of patients in community, including ambulatory care model and also home hospital, which is important in the future to act against the aging population. It can also serve as a ground technology to support monitoring of elderlies in the community, such as the elderlies in the old age home. So with this setup of AIOB and 5G technology integration, we look forward for the future in further development and collaboration with ASTRI. Thank you.
Okay, since start today. So the next I will invite Dr. Mark, this is CRE chief scientist. So they maybe talk about robotics and IoT, how to enhance the industry automation efficiency.
Yeah, thank you, Doctor. So delighted to be here to talk about sharing my point of view. So actually, there were 3 main directions in our robotics center. The first one is quite related to doctor, which is the healthcare sector. So at the very beginning, we start with the elderly solutions. For example, elderly care AI solutions, something like the sensors, which to prevent elderly from fall detections, from falling in the bathroom. And we have lots of physiotherapy solutions at the very beginning. So it is quite, medical, clinical grade. But in the next generation, we are working in the Chinese medicine treatment as well. 那个理疗就是中医理疗 related. So we have lots of robotic solution which is working on healthcare industry. For example, the massaging, supporting massaging, and also we are working on the IoT solutions like the sensors. Currently, we are building lots of AI models for wave sensors, which is 60 gigahertz. Which is in between the 30-something gigahertz and 77 gigahertz for automotive. So we use 60 gigahertz to achieve the calculations of the range Doppler images. So in bathroom, if for elderly, if they got an accident in the bathroom, for example, they fall or being unconscious, the wave sensor could definitely detect the fraud detections in accuracy of 90%. So this is really high accuracy because we simply focus on the scenario of the bathroom, where we built this AI models for 18 months with the detailed machine training in between the video analytics and the wave sensor. Because of the privacy, we could not use the video analytic, which we were expert in this area, which we have lots of deployed solutions in the MTR systems and the mass transit railway. So Also, we have built lots of clinical and hospital use assistant robots. The overall AI robotic control system, including the 5G operations, 5G live streaming, and the 5G conferencing system, which is supporting 4K video streaming. So the second area that we are focusing is the industrial and service robot automation. So we deeply focus on the collaborative robots arms, which could be inevitable elements in automations and in the factory production lines, industrial management system. We have co-developed lots of new products with Japanese company Harmonic Drive to working on the collaborative robots. So different from the industrial robot, for collaborative robots, we simply need to know they could cooperate with different humans, which is easy to control, and also this is very safe because we do not need to gauge. You do not need to specific areas for locating the robot, which is more easy for deployment. The third area that we are focusing is the crisis management. So we are cooperating with the China Coal Technology Engineering Group, 中美科工. This is something like in the environmental danger environment. We are working on lots of robotic solutions, which would go through the assistance services to help the workers. And also we have lots of different IoT solutions for underground, messy, and complicated environment, for the mining robots, the vibrational sensors, the air quality sensors, with a very perfectly explosion prevention specifications. So that would be our area. So thank you very much for.
Okay, thanks, Mark. The next one, I will invite Peter. Peter is an expert on the education, especially focused on the SAN student. So maybe introduce Mark. Yeah, please.
Thank you, Dr. Choi. So let me briefly introduce Bridge. Bridge is an organization that supports special education needs students in Hong Kong and Singapore. So we have 2 education centers supporting aged from 2 to 6 SEN students in Hong Kong, and we have primary schools also supporting from age 7 to 11 SEN students. In 2019, we have co-developed AI system together with ASTRI to help the therapists and teachers to develop the individualized education plan or individualized training plan for the teachers to create that training sessions for the SEN students. And this program and this system, in fact, is being used by multidisciplinary professionals such as occupation therapists, speech therapists, physiotherapists, and special childcare workers. And currently, not only our centers and schools are using this system, but also other NGOs in Hong Kong and Singapore are using it, including the HA. There's 2 hospitals, the occupation therapists in Hong Kong, they are also using this system to provide the training for the SEN students. So our program, in fact, is starting from the intakes of the students. So the therapists or teachers, when they do the intakes, they will use the system to record the students' data. And then they will use different types of assessment tools. We have been integrated the assessment tools into our system to provide to store the assessment result. And we will, based on that assessment result, we help each of the NGOs to create their own database of the learning tasks, the short-term goal and also the long-term goal, including the activities that has been involved to achieve these learning tasks. Then our AI will help the teachers to create the individualized training plan based on their database. And finally, we will help the therapists to create the reports And we also collaborate with different universities in Hong Kong to train up their university students that they are studying in the early childhood educations to learn how to use our system. And they will be placed in different NGOs to do the practicum work. So we call them charter special needs tutors in order to help the communities to solve the problems of the shortage of the therapists. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Peter. Very professional sharing. Yeah, and let's invite Dr. Daniel Lau to introduce some of the future aerospace leveraging AI for improving safety and efficiency.
Thank you, Dr. Tsai. He gave me a very hot topic, aerospace, leveraging AI, and on safety and efficiency, because he knows that our job is to bring sky to ground. Now, I got 5 minutes, so I got to deep dive into it. So I want to state from our perspective, I want to state two challenges, grand challenge of today's, as we move from intelligent, smart city to intelligent city with intelligent infrastructure. So whether it's aerospace, high altitude, or the hot topics in town is low altitude economy, right? So there's some system, some basic infrastructure, intelligent infrastructure that tie all things together. So the first grand challenge that we are facing, actually, that from our business is the real-time, high precision, PNT. I want you to take this away: position, navigation, time. For next generation of intelligent city, bringing sky to ground. Now, PNT, these kind of things, be it in aerospace or in low altitude economy, is very important. And the second grand challenge is that we are facing is we are moving from IT, like the three distinguished speakers were saying, from IoT. O is not just adding an O, right? O meaning, of course, mass connectivity, and it also means space-time domain. So the traditional IT or ICT data sets we are now facing AI, vast data, fusion data domains. And how do you actually collect at the edge or at the cloud, how to actually capture them and do analytics of this and be able to really do spatial time domain, because we're talking high precision machines, be it aerospace, aviation, be it or LAE. So the second challenge is how to address this space-time domain, the data domain. Also, first is PNT, or you take it away. Second is the data domain. So you can see it from there. So all this prerequisite is, Dr. Leung has talked about digital twin. It's a spatial time data, digital twin integration. So I'm afraid to say, although they're all experts there, Hong Kong is really lagging behind digital twin or meta world, whatever you want to call it, right? With that, you can map the high precision machines under PNT as intelligent infrastructure, or GPNT, with global navigation system, if there's needed, to enhance this whole scenario. Okay, so that's one thing, and I want to address 1 minute for the topic that Dr. Tsai gave me. Now, aviation, aerospace, the key thing is how do you have leveraging AI, the vast amount of data, to actually assess or better improve the life cycle management. Life cycle management, not failure analysis, not reliability, life cycle management. And then you have to have those systems, the aerospace assets, system, subsystem, critical components, they're running around all these things. And then you have to be able to monitor continuously the effective performance of the IoT system or whatever, in that, fly-by-wire or whatever, or drones or whatever, and then be able to monitor the degradation of individual components, and then assess the remaining useful life. Now, this is not something new. People have been doing it in F-35 or whatever in America or Europe for last 20 years. Remaining useful life, like the Internet of Body, Dr. Leung was talking, really good. And it happened that we have contact too. But anyway, so then you have to be able to put it together in a system called PHM, Prognostic and System Health Management. I understand 1 minute. So then the takeaway is the so this is system, right? And then I want to, second slide is to put it all together with the ecosystem, 5G millimeter wave, whatever you want to call it. And then you have to have some, data sets capture to analyze the domain. So to me, the synergy from a perspective of AI and IoT, the synergy, is one of the perspectives, is mass customization. Mass and yet customized, contradictory, right? But this is happening. Like Benetton in the old days, the color scheme, and then adaptive conditions. So PNT and the GNSS, base station, enhanced base stations that can capture the global navigation system, BeiDou applications is the key too. Thank you.
Okay, thanks Daniel, and thanks all the speaker, very professional and wonderful sharing. So, it's an introduction, maybe we can start some question. For example, in the past 2 weeks, maybe we face everybody with 新年快乐, 身体健康. So good health is the most important for everyone. So as a doctor, and I still believe because IoT for medical or no matter the medical IoT or Internet of Body, they are different. But still, for industry, since the people it's not so familiar with such industry because there for medical device, especially in the hospital, there are some regulation. So, can you advise for get some suggestion for the industry? So, when you want to enter this area, what they should note and what they should prevent, and how to enter this very high professional area, and what regulation that must be take care.
Thank you, Dr. Sai. I think in healthcare, because we are generally more conservative, because we are treating human bodies, we are treating patients. So, but in the last few years, actually everything is moving in a rapid way, and especially after COVID. Actually, in the healthcare, the development in adopting technologies and AI, these sort of disruptive technologies is much faster compared to before. So I think it is in general a change management. It's important to visualize the benefit, and actually because now we are facing aging population, and the burden of our healthcare service is going year by year. So if we are just doing in the traditional way to provide healthcare services, actually it's not sustainable. So that's why in the hospital authority as well as in the healthcare sector worldwide, we are also going through the process of digital transformation. While the adoption of IoT and AI is also in one of major development area. So actually this, everything is in this process. So I think in the upcoming years, this will also be in a faster pace.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so the next question may be for Mark. You just talk about robotics, no matter the service robot, industry robot, or even healthcare robot. And but currently the operation robot still needed a very professional skill. As we know, such as Dutch language model, especially such as few weeks, this is announced, and something that imported the AI. So from your point of view, it's how do you see such as the Dutch language model or imported the AI will change the future industry automation, or how can it make the manufacturer or service more intelligent?
Oh, this is a very good questions, because automation have been deployed for several decades. When I was just a tiny little boy, there were already lots of automations for productions, for factories, but lots of them only do some routine and pre-programmed functions. For example, something like packaging, something like welding, which is maybe high crisis, and maybe some for delivery. But at that moment, because we do not have any AI embedded, it is quite difficult to deploy those types of robots because we need lots of human resources in programming. So now, currently, we are talking about the embodied AI, which is the 具身智能的这种 AI 的一个概念。So it's the integrations of machine learning, the computer visions, and the robotic learnings and language, of course, the technologies. So we could build some robots that can, preserve, add, and collaborative. So in the current, several years, there are lots of humanoid robot, bionic robot, which is 人形机器人, have been launched from time to time. But remember, while I've been working on the bionic robots and humanoid robots since 2017, we have built the ever first 5G humanoid robot in China. But we do not see any markets there. The problem is we have something like industrial robot, which is more reliable. We could have better payload with better loading. But for humanoid robots, the first thing is we do not have sufficient what kinds of background knowledges. We do not have the good programmers. We do not have the real market needs for that. It is quite difficult for deploying this kind of robots. So, however, once the embodied AI is launching, the situation's changed, because we could have more human-like behavior robotic solutions, and because of the AI, which people getting lazy, we do not need tedious programming. So for any automations or factories or some services like the coffee machine, something like that, we do not need a tedious programming and do not need engineers for try to deploy in those robots. It is quite easy because the machine learning can do it itself. We have computer visions to identify the quality issues, and also there are lots of good ways to go through it. But however, the thing is currently, because of the automations is getting more and more compatible, the cost is also quite sensitive. So while we do not have the human collaboration robot would be more easier to replace the heavy duty and remain some smart and tiny elastic or small movement and flexible movement for human. That may be one of the foresee the future.
Okay, thank you so much. Very professional sharing. So let's back to the education better. So there's two questions, because I think education is very important, especially all we are the parents, but sometimes we don't know how to educate our students. We even don't know what any problem happen in our children. So as an expert about, especially on our SEN area, so can you have some professional advice or suggestion for parents regarding how to know more about the SEN, or how to involve in case our students have such situation? The second question is what is your expectation or potential technology will be used to enhance more in the education area, not just, but of course, the SEN is important, but not limited. Yeah, please.
In fact, we use multiple IoTs and AIs during the training sessions. So first, after the assessment, we use the AI to do the individualized education plan, to create the education plans for the therapists. And then within the training session, in fact, we have been developed multiple IoTs, such as we have co-developed wristband, an emotional wristband to detect the emotion of the students during the class. So we can also predict the students' emotions. If there's any meltdown, we will alert the teachers. Secondly, we also develop environmental sensors to monitor the sound level, the light intensity, the air conditions, as the SEN students can be very sensitive to all these factors. So all these data will be shown in real time to the therapist and to make necessary adjustment for the class. So when we first implement this system, together with ASTRI, we have collaborated with 2 professors to assess the effectiveness of the system. So we have published a research in sensors. So we understand that our system can achieve 87% of the students, they shown learning progressions. And also the teachers find that the system is very useful and user-friendly and effective. In 2023, we also published another paper in IEEE demonstrated that our AI technologies, the accuracy to predict the students' behavior is about 98% accuracy. So also just a few weeks ago, we are honored to be by the UNESCO as one of the best global practice resource centers for technology-enhanced inclusive education, making us the only education technology company from Southeast Asia to receive these recognitions.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. So maybe Daniel, so you present some smart city digitalization. You also mentioned millimeter wave sensing level device. So can you explore more about the smart city 3D digitalization concept, how to do it? And the second is what is the low altitude sensing you are expected in the future?
Okay, so 2 questions, right? The first is the so-called how to generate a digital twin, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, smart
and the
city
meta world.
digital.
And then second is how to do sensing in low altitude economy. I think the first thing is Hong Kong really needs to have intelligent infrastructure, although much great work has been done. It means what? It means enhanced base station to capture the space-time domain data, whatever asset is flying around, indoor, outdoor, one system seamless. Then you'll be able to use that to generate the digital twin, which is the prerequisite of anything, right? You know, Dr. Indoor, outdoor, right? People have been using ultra-wideband, you know, like the Chinese University hospital there. So how do you get all this data with this basic infrastructure? We've been trying to get the government to do it. You know, they have done 5G, replacing 5G millimeter wave stations. By the way, mainland, our brother up there has over 4 million 5G base station with 300,000 over enhanced base station in case you cannot do the low-cost cellular to capture, you know, bring the sky to land. And then there's no reason why we cannot, I'm sorry, you know, I know you talk about sensors, but there's no reason why we cannot fly the drones like Shenzhen. Because things can be done on the ground. Solar flare has been there forever. You can predict it. You get those, you know, not RTK only, you get those single point reference with enhanced base station. That's what China is doing. And then you factor in the algorithms to at that particular period, the deviation in space and time, high precision machine, right? So then use high precision machine, then you have to have enhanced base stations. And then you capture from the ground. There are solutions. But we have to move to IoT, like all these distinguished guests doing. So low altitude economy, first, PNT infrastructure, position, navigation time, the prerequisite is geoinformatics, digital twin, meta world. True, not, you know, a lot of people have said, I can generate all this 3D, which is, you know, it is not true. Hong Kong is very behind this. Tokyo, Shanghai has been doing true digital twin in the next 3 years. They train the AI in those meta world. But you have to have a really physical and meta, really exact. Right? Indoor, outdoor, one system. So have I answered your question? Have you answered my question or what?
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
That's good. Society starts the policy. We need to have a good policy to move forward.
Yes, we have to have the base station. We have to have the base station. That's first and foremost. It doesn't cost that much. I mean, a few of those base stations along the line of the low altitude economy. It could be that is a sensor, right? The base station with whatever sensor you want to put, like the Internet of Body that the great doctor has been doing. And then you have to have the algorithm to factor in with the sensors. Of course, you have to know the weather, because safety, compliance, regulatory are the first and foremost for those drones. Instead of event-based, but when people ride on there, it came down, it's stunned. Those guys are doing very good in healthcare. I really love, we have healthcare too. So we'll talk about later. But the thing is, the key takeaway is PNT basic infrastructure as we move from smart to intelligent. Be it IoT, low altitude, it is all the same thing. Aerospace, high altitude, aviation, mid altitude, low altitude economy, it's all come together. If you have that, you can generate to other business, not just event-based, logistics, how to capture it, indoor, outdoor, how to move patients, indoor, outdoor, how to track the mobile asset. The key takeaway is critical situation awareness, command and control on a system level, right? So that is the takeaway. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Daniel. Yeah, so I think this is a good opportunity, and we are so many editants here. So can you get some comment or suggestion about the Hong Kong? I should believe that Hong Kong always want to build a global research R&D center. So any comment or suggestion, especially in the IoT, AI sensing, IoT and AI related area, any suggestion for the industry, what we should focus and what we should do or what we should not do?
Just say one thing. I don't want to dominate. I just want to say one thing because we are in the business of this. First and foremost, we need to educate. Educate. What is moving from IT to IoT is not adding an O. I said before, right? But now we're talking about AI IoT. Somebody will say, all right, it's artificial intelligence. But it could be adaptive intelligence, right? People are talking about adaptive intelligence. That's how the whole thing learn. And then cognition is very important. That's how it has some senses. And then of course, Hong Kong is lagging behind what? Yeah, you have IoT, you pay a few $100, you can get this turn on all these things. But the thing is, you talk about industrial scale. Adaptive, large industrial scale IoT is the key. Sorry, you guys go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Maybe better, yeah.
Let me give my 2 cents. In fact, I think the data privacy, because we are doing educations for the special education needs students, we are taking the data from the day-to-day training. We are using video audio analytics. We are capturing the emotion. We are capturing the students' performance, every single task. So the first we need to deal with is the data privacy and cyber securities. So it's not only we are rolling out in Hong Kong that is important, but also when we are rolling out worldwide, they are also looking into very details in this.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, Mark.
So I believe that we could do more research and development activities in Hong Kong, because right on the the China internal domestic research center, and as well as the Western research center like IMEC, right, like in IMEC in Belgium. So they are looking forward a cooperation in between. But however, they do not have a channel. I believe that Hong Kong could be one of the channels to bridge up the R&D activities, so that more and more intelligence innovations could be born in Hong Kong. So, and also ASTRI could also be participating in this, research activities, so that we could try to converge it into a real commercial products. So I believe that this is the way that we could, work on more in R&D. And also for marketing, I believe that it is more easy for Hong Kong to, to go into the domestic markets and as well as the overseas markets. So I believe that the R&D activities and the marketing activities are, good to build in Hong Kong.
Yeah, great. Yeah, Dr. Lei, maybe help us make a conclusion.
Yes, I can stand for on perspective of users because we are a healthcare professional. So firstly, I would like to concur with Daniel that infrastructure is important. In the development of smart hospital in hospital authority, we also have planned in infrastructure building in set of IoT-based box. Because just like the case that I shared before about IOB, if we do not have the infrastructure, it is impossible to provide continuous monitoring on the patient in cornerless manner. So infrastructure is important. Technology, of course, we need to have a technology partner, but I would like to highlight one point is that in healthcare, because in general, we are treating patients, we need to be conservative. We need to ensure everything is running in the proper way. So we need to verify rigorously before we can mass roll out to our patients. So collaboration between the healthcare sector is very important. So the collaborative model between the co-development between the industry, the technology provider, as well as the healthcare provider is important.
Yeah, okay, thank you so much. Time is limited. I think speakers still have many what they want to say, but we cannot continue. Again, thanks for the speaker sharing their professional opinion and knowledge. Yeah, and thanks all of your guests for your participation. Thank you so much.
What an enlightening discussion. Thank you to all our speakers for your valuable insights. With Dr. Tai and our panelists, please step towards the front of the stage for a group photo. Thank you. Please be seated. As we conclude this track on empowering tomorrow, the synergy of IoT and AI, we hope you found the discussions enlightening and inspiring. Before you depart, please take a moment to complete our online survey by scanning the QR code below. Upon completion, please present the survey confirmation page to our staff in the information in the foyer to receive a souvenir. Thank you for your participation and engagement throughout this track. If you have borrowed a SI headset, please return it to the counter at the exit. We look forward to welcoming you in our future events soon and wish you a healthy and prosperous year of the snake.